What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the Sweet Life 813 where we discuss gig content, mainly Uber Eats. And I know it's been a while since I've been here. I've had a lot of things going on. One thing is I dropped my phone and the camera stopped working, and I had to pay $170 to get the camera fixed, actually get a new camera. So now I'm finally back, and I plan to keep the content coming on a more regular basis now that things are more settled and stable now. So just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to follow along and stay updated whenever I drop new content. So today I wanted to bring up a topic that I've been thinking about for a while, and that topic is which is better for drivers, Uber Eats or DoorDash? And before I even get into it, this is going to sound a little biased because, for one, I only do Uber Eats. I've never done DoorDash. I've tried to do DoorDash, but they won't accept my license because it's a little worn down, and like a little part of my name you can't read. I think that's the reason it keeps rejecting my driver's license, and I just haven't gotten a new one yet. But eventually I'll get a new one and probably try out DoorDash at some point. But right now I'm just pretty content just doing Uber Eats. So, you know, I've heard a lot about DoorDash. I know people who do it, and I've heard a lot about it. So I mean, I can give you some information about it, and I feel like I'm knowledgeable enough to at least make a comparison. So that's what we're gonna jump into today. So Uber Eats. Let's start with that. With Uber Eats, you're able to log on anytime you want to and just start doing deliveries. Um, doesn't matter what time of day or anything like that. You can just press go on the app, and you can start making deliveries. With Uber Eats, to me, I think the app is a little bit more simpler to use. There have been a lot of updates to the app. Over the years. I've been doing Uber Eats for about 2.5 years now, and just in that time, I've seen a whole lot of different updates to the app. But other than that, I mean, I think the app is very easy to use, and it doesn't take that long to get used to all the different features on the app. With DoorDash, I believe that when you first start, you can dash whenever you want to for a little while. But after that, you have to start scheduling shifts. Or if it's like really busy in your area, I think they'll have a dash now icon that'll come up and you can dash now at that time. But it's only in those busy time periods. Other than that, after you've been doing it for a little bit, you have to schedule your dashes, which, I mean, depending on how you look at it, I don't necessarily like that because I like to be able to go on and go off whenever I want to, because sometimes I might have something else that I need to go do real quick, so I can log on, do some orders for a couple hours, and then log off and then do what I got to do, and then log back on. So that aspect of it, I think, goes to Uber Eats. Um, Also, with Uber Eats and DoorDash has about 2 million drivers in the United States, whereas Uber Eats only has 400,000. So you're going to be a lot more saturated, I think, with DoorDash than with Uber Eats because there's way more DoorDash drivers out there. But on the other hand, there's a lot more restaurants, I think, that do DoorDash than Uber Eats. I mean, there's new restaurants coming out to Uber Eats all the time, but as far as my research, there's a lot more restaurants that have DoorDash attached to it. So that's one thing to consider. And it all depends on your area. I mean, if you live in an area where there's a lot of restaurants, then it's not going to really be that much of a concern. If you live in a smaller area where there's limited amount of restaurants, then you really need to see what those restaurants are on. Are they on DoorDash? Are they on Uber Eats? Are they on both? To see what is going to be more lucrative for you. Second, another thing is promotions. Now, from what I heard, DoorDash does have promotions, but from what I've heard is I don't think Uber Eats has. I mean, I don't think DoorDash has as many promotions as Uber Eats does. Like, I know for in my area, mostly Uber Eats will have like quests where you could do like you do two deliveries, you get an extra dollar, and then two more, you get an extra $2, and then two more, you get an extra $4, and two more, you get an extra $6, something like that. They have quests like that, or they have one now where if you do the shop and pay deliveries, they'll have it says that it makes it sound like you get extra $30 um, if you do if you get a certain percentage of correct like when you shop for the orders, if you find everything that they want, you get a certain percentage. They like have a metric for that, finding what they want or having to replace what they want. I think it's like a 98% that you have to have, and you have to have, I believe it was 20 um, shopping pays within the week, and it makes it sound like you're gonna get $30. And they've had that going for a long time, but for the longest time I would never get it because I would get the 20 shopping pays, but my percentage would be lower than 98 because sometimes the store might be out of what the customer wants, and if the customer doesn't want to replace it with anything, that's not really your fault. I mean, you can try, but that's not really your fault. But recently I did hit it. I got the 20 and I got the 98%, and then it pops up and says, "Okay, great, congratulations, you made it." But now that makes you eligible for another quest where you have to do 20. You have to do 15 more shopping pays, and you get I'm sorry, 10 more shopping pays, and you get $20. And or if you do 15, you get $30. I did 10 more, and I got the $20, but I didn't make it up to the 15 for the week, so I only got the $20. But I think Uber Eats is more solid on the promotion end of it. Although DoorDash does have different promotions on there, depending on your area and your city. Maybe if you live in a larger city, they might have more promotions out there for you. So, based on those things, to me, I feel like the best thing to really do is multi-app if you can, to have both of them, and take orders from whichever one is giving the best orders. I think that's really your best bet. But um, if you want to just have one app, I think that you need to like look in your area and decide which one seems to be delivering the most, and go with that. I think probably it's going to be Uber Eats. I say that biasly because that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for the past 2.5 years, and I think Uber Eats is good. It has its slow times like in the summer, but now here in the fall it's starting to pick up more. I'm starting to be able to make more daily than I was before. So it's all going to depend on your area and what works best for you, which most of the time is going to be multi-apping because you don't really want to depend on one app unless you really have to. You know, so I wanted to come on here and discuss that. That's all I have for you today. I definitely will be coming back with more content very soon. So just stay tuned. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so that you're notified as soon as I drop my content. And definitely put down in the comments how you feel about it. Which one do you think is better, Uber Eats or DoorDash, or do you use both? What are your thoughts on this issue? Which one do you feel is more lucrative? Definitely let me know, and let me know any questions that you might have. I'll definitely be glad to answer them for you. So that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you again in the next video.